Hey guys, so I haven't done one of these updates in a little while, so let's look at the kind of mid month till April 17th. Today is the 18th, but I did these numbers yesterday, so and not much just changed between yesterday and today. So let's take a look at them. 416 condo, 416 resale condo so far in the month of April. About 463 units sold. Last year for the entire month of April was 1,309. So way off the pace. Where could we finish? We could probably finish somewhere between 6 to 700 units of that, which would be a drastic reduction, not only year over year, but month over month, with prices, average prices, and median prices both lower if the trends hold right. And the expensive condos in Toronto are generally not selling. So the lower price units are selling and they're pushing the averages down. There's a lot of them. So if you're looking for a Toronto condo in the city, the best ones that are holding value are mid rise um, with decent square footages, parking, and terraces and lockers. Their prices are holding up much better than the large buildings with lots of suites that are exactly the same. Doesn't matter what floor you're on, they're exactly the same all the way up and down the building. I like the boutique buildings because they tend to be owner occupied. They sell quickly, they're more in demand, and you're generally not competing against multiple other units in your building pushing the prices down at the same time. They come up very infrequently, and so to me, the more boutique kind of mid-rise buildings with balconies and terraces and parkings and lockers and maybe a little bit less frill kind of amenity wise are holding up prices better than the other categories of condos. Same with condo townhouses, but in higher demand as well, and that's all lumped in with the condo stats. So 416 condos, be prepared in April to see a lot less sales and lower average prices. Now, 416 detached. Um, Year over year sales was going to be lower as well. Last year was 750. This year so far is 353. So if we go on this pace, probably somewhere around the 6 to 700 unit mark, which is lower than last year, and prices will be lower, but marginally. It's not really collapsing, but the median prices are low, are starting to lower. Certain notice the median prices lowering as well. Even though a lot of them seem to be holding back offers, and the average prices in the East Districts is 105%, in the Central Districts 99%, in the West Districts 102%. What does this mean? This means people are listing at lower and lower prices, and yes, sometimes they go multiple offers, but it's not huge over the ask, and the askings are lower anyway. So if the askings are lower, the multiple over asking is lower, and that leads to lower average prices. So beware of that strategy if you're a seller, that you could actually be getting a lower price than you should, even in a multiple offer situation. And if your neighbor accepts a drastically lower price, or a guy on the street behind you with a similar house, then of course now you're chasing a falling knife kind of scenario. When do I see these kind of turning around? I don't for the foreseeable future. Doesn't matter who you elect. May won't be any better. June won't be any better. July won't be any better. In August, probably won't be any better. There might be a year-over-year increase in sale price for homes and condos, but that's kind of when we'll start seeing that around that, and it won't be any kind of news for celebration anyway. So when you have the peak pricing and people start coming down off the peak, you get to a point where the year-over-year numbers in the year, right? So if you have the year, then there's a bump in the year, then there's a down in the year, right? Last year, you get to a point where the year-over-year numbers stop looking worse and start looking better if this year doesn't follow the last year's down trend, right? So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Lots remains to be unforeseen. We can try to look into the future. Economically, here in Ontario, we're not doing well. We have very high unemployment, somewhere around 9%, and that won't turn around anytime soon. Does what happens federally matter? Yes, but things don't turn around on a dime, and we still have the guy in the States to contend with regardless. So what's the future to hold? Who knows? If unemployment keeps on rising, then it's going to be lower sales and lower prices. Just makes sense, right? If we have started to emigrate, not immigration, but emigration, out-migration, prices will get lower because there's fewer people to sell to. So these things all taken into account. Sellers, you should be trying to present the best possible product, the best possible outward face for your listing at an aggressive price to get it sold fairly quickly. If you are on the market for a long time, say you're on the market and you have been on the market at double the average sale time, you're wildly out of price, wildly out of touch of the market, and wildly out of price. So in your given area, you'll have your average days on market for what has sold, probably in and around 20 to 40 day kind of area right now, probably around the 30 day. So if you're at 90 days on the market, you are wildly overpriced. Maybe there's something wrong. Maybe it doesn't show properly. If you're tenanted, maybe that's the problem. There's a whole bunch of reasons why. But if you're like that, you need to identify the problem. You need to rectify it and move on with your life. You're not chasing an up market anymore. You're not chasing an up market. You're chasing a down market. And don't get caught trying to catch a falling knife. Best thing is have the correct listing strategy right out of the gate. Get your home sold within the 20 to 30 days and move on with your life. Take care. Need more tips? Go to my websites. I have 1, 2, 3 for different specialities, but my contact information is there too. Do not contact me if you are in a signed contract already. All right? Not interfere with those with signed contracts. I do not do that. Take care. Have a happy Easter weekend. And the polls are open, so go vote.